But we'll just go with y'all, man. It's crunch time. Hit the like as y'all join in. Let's talk about this situation with the New York Knicks and why they fired Tom Thibodeau for no reason, man. I believe they fired him for no reason. As for those that don't know, he's been fired after the Knicks had an amazing season, going all the way to the conference finals. Right, beating the Boston Celtics, beating the Pistons, and losing to Indiana in the conference finals. I think they scapegoated this man. I think they scapegoated. I think they scapegoated Tom Thibodeau. I believe that is the case. Is what they did is scapegoated him, man, because I believe the players on the court is the reason why they lost in the conference finals. First of all, they choked a 20-point lead, and this is when Jalen Brunson, you know what I'm saying, came back into the game in game one. So the players choked that lead, right? Somebody said a new voice and identity is needed for this particular roster. That don't make no sense, bro. They got to the conference finals with this coach and with this identity. So it's just like we just making stuff up, I feel like, at this point, man. Somebody said he pushed for a cat and had the team he wanted and got clapped by Indy. And they got to the conference finals. You played against a team that was in the conference finals last year, bro. So it's not a coincidence that the Indiana Pacers. You played against a team that was in the conference finals last year, bro. So it's not a coincidence that the Indiana Pacers. You just making that up in your head, though. That's your delusional mindset. You don't have no facts, reason, and basis behind that. You know what I'm saying? Great season by the New York Knicks, man. I believe that they scapegoated this man, Tom Thibodeau, bro. And the things that I told you that the team had to work on, they didn't want to work on it. See, they got that Villanova brotherhood on that team, and they're not going to hold each other accountable. They're not going to blame each other. They ain't going to say, oh, Brunson, you got to feed Towns more. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to say that. Somebody said you have to evaluate the whole season and how the season ended. They got outplayed. That's their fault. That's the players' fault. Come back next season, get better. Like, what happened to that? You know what I'm saying? Now when you bring a new coach in there, now you got to start back from square one and get back onto the same page as a new coach. And then what? If y'all go to the second round, what, you gonna fire that coach? Right? Is that what y'all gonna do? Is that what y'all gonna do, bro? Somebody said the coach is not responsible for them being outplayed and out. But the coach had them. All right. So was the coach responsible for them having a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter in game one, and then the players choked it? See, we got like the coach is not on the court. So, see what I'm saying? So again, I want you to answer that question. With the new coach they have, if they lose in the second round next season, are they gonna fire that coach as well? Somebody asked me. Somebody answer that for me, man. Somebody said the coach is responsible for how they closed that game. All right, well, that's just how you look at it, bro. It is what it is, dog. It's like I said, bro. I believe that you got to take the ball out of Jalen Brunson's hands sometimes. Jalen Brunson, see, you're not going to hold him accountable for choking the game away. Remember, he airballed the 3 in overtime. Remember, he was breaking all of them shots down in game 2. And I like Jalen Brunson, though. But he was breaking all of them shots down the stretch. But this is what you do to make your players better, though. You don't just blame the coach, because now the player not going to get better. Now, next season, let's say if he do the same thing. Right? Let's say next season, let's say if Jalen Brunson does the same thing down the stretch, are they going to fire that coach too? So that's my whole point, man. Fam, just like OKC firing Mark last year after the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. What's the point of firing it? Like, it's like I feel like people be panicking too much, man.
Hey, what's up, bro?
It was up.
I agree with like your post slightly, but because I'm from New York, but just watching like the things he was doing towards the last few games, bro, like he was dead ass running new lineups and rotations and do or die games, and I feel like he was getting out coached badly, And I fully agree with like the 17-point lead that they choked. That's 100% on the players. And I think if they won that game, they would be in the finals because like game one at
Yep.
home, you win. You go back to New York. Even if you lose, that's 1-1. They
Yeah,
ended
it could
up.
have won the
They ended
game
up.
7. It could have
Yeah,
won
they
the game
ended up
7 in New
winning.
York.
They ended up winning game 3 in Indy, right? Or did they go down 3-0? I'm honestly
They went
forgetting.
down 2-1, and then he went down 3-1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like, I agree with that, but it's also on him to kind of be the coach that tells like Jalen Brunson, because Jalen Brunson was frustrating the hell out of me. Like he's holding the ball 18, 19, 20 seconds and then doing some bullshit pull-up shot. And, that leads to frustration because like Cat's on the court. He wants to that leads to frustration because like Cat's on the court. He wants the ball. He's not getting the ball in crucial moments. And
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't getting the ball down the stretch. So, I
he
mean,
wasn't, yeah. But I feel like that's a time where you would call a timeout. And even though Brunson is your best player, you got to put him on record and be like, yo, you can't just, kind of outcast your whole squad because you wanna be the guy. So
yeah, but you don't know what the coach was telling him. And this is the thing. Like at the end of the day, is that a reason to get fired?
no, but I feel like the NBA is very quick to like I do agree with the scapegoat kind of thing that you were saying. Um, but his play style and his
And then,
rotation he was doing towards the end of the series,
and
I
then,
think what led
and
him.
this is the thing. So you kind of conflicting with people saying. So you saying that he was trying different rotations
Mm-hmm.
at the wrong time, but then other people saying he left the starters in for too long. He was running them into the ground. So which one is it? Do you want him to try new rotations or run players to the ground?
Honestly, with me, bro, if you get to the Eastern Conference Finals with the rotation that got you there, I think like in my opinion, you got to die on the sword, right?
See,
Like if
but see, now it's too. But then people are getting mad at both of those. I feel like we can't have it both ways. It's like people are
yeah,
getting
no, I
mad.
feel you. I
People get
feel
mad
you.
because he's leaving the starters in. But then when he's trying to put new people in, you get fired for doing that.
Yeah, no, I feel you because I think just the fact that the whole season, 100+ games in, then you start seeing these reports come out like, oh, Josh Hart is not, he's a liability on defense. Cat is a liability on defense. Like, yo, it really took you 100
I
games to figure that out.
I
I'm
just
just
feel like the
saying, bro.
franchise wanted to move in a different direction, no matter what was the outcome.
I mean, why? So even if they won a championship,
Nah, I think if the Knicks made the finals, he would be safe.
so that's like we got to figure out, man. It's the players, bro. Like
And I'm
A
not
hundred
I'm not
percent.
really into
I want to
blaming the
ask y'all
players
this question.
because
So hold
if
on.
you seen that Jalen Brunson interview, he really didn't want to talk about it. Like he came to Tom Thibodeau's defense, got
Yeah,
very
yeah.
defensive.
Nah, he scapegoated Tom Thibodeau, man. Hey,
How
Kevin
how
Ali,
do you
yeah,
scapegoat him if when a reporter
Right.
asked him the question, he
I,
clearly didn't answer and
because
came
he
I
with
right,
think
stories.
I
right.
think the
That's
Knicks
called
I think the Knicks
that's a
lost because they
sign of a
don't got no
scapegoat. If he ain't,
offense.
huh?
The Knicks lost because they don't have no offense. I didn't see them running enough pick and roll with Brunson and Cat.
That's Brunson's fault.
I think that's the coaching staff fault. Tom
Wait a minute, bro.
Thibodeau and
If
the
I'm on the court,
assistants.
you know how easy it is to call a pick and roll if I'm the point guard.
That's very true, but a lot of these players they don't have that leadership quality to where they could just run their offense and the coach don't got to tell them nothing.
What are you
I don't
talking
think they
about,
should have.
bro? Jalen
I don't.
Brunson, they giving him all the hold on. So he got enough freedom to hold the ball for the whole shot clock, but he can't call a pick and roll.
Yeah,
My thing, my thing,
I
my
kind of
thing
agree with the
is,
host
I
on
think,
that, bro. You gotta,
I,
if you're on the court, you gotta be like. There's only so much a coach can do. Like, like even I think back to when the Nets had the big three, and then they just fired Steve Nash immediately. Like, what is Steve Nash realistically gonna do that KD, Harden, and Kyrie already don't know? Does that make sense?
I mean, I feel like what can Steve Nash do if those players can't stay healthy? It's not his fault.
No, that's
Yeah,
true
that's
too.
what I'm
That's true
saying. Like
too.
all these players be scapegoating their coaches. I just don't get it. And
I,
I want to
I
ask
don't,
you,
I don't think they should have fired him. I think they should have just gotten an assistant so they could have an offense because too much ISO. That's why they
Yeah,
lost.
and
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I
That's
mean,
Jalen
I
Brunson's
kind of knew
fault,
this
though,
was
man.
happening, but I mean, I kind of knew that Tibbs to
I
get fired.
I think he should. I think he should like. I think he should still be a part of the franchise in some way, like move him up to upper management, kind of like the Celtics did with Brad Stevens. Like he built a great squad, and then the new coach came in and kind of just finished the job. But you know,
Well, I
I
mean,
just don't
like
understand this, man. Like now, this
another
is the thing.
doctor,
Everybody's saying that, but look, everybody's saying that he's running them into the ground. But I
Well,
want to answer this question.
everybody does that to their starters in the playoffs. Like
Yeah,
it's
and
not
that's
one it's not one coach that don't run their starters to the ground in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's,
I'm like, why are we?
it's also kind of the narrative, bro.
Everybody only play like 6 or 7 people in the playoffs. Nobody has like a 9 or 10 man rotation in the
That's
playoffs.
what I'm about to say. Because if that's the case, then
Besides the
JJ
Thunder,
Redick.
honestly.
I'm saying if that's the case, then JJ Redick should be fired right now, immediately.
Facts. And I'm a
Yeah.
Laker fan, but I think is yeah. I think the
Yeah,
Knicks
I
should have
mean, we
just
seen
hired
what
an
happened to
assistant.
those coaches that I've won Coach of the Year. We seen what happened.
Nah, bro. This is. I feel like y'all not giving me enough reason of why this man got fired, bro.
I
I
don't.
mean,
I don't
the front
honestly
office wanted
think.
to move in a different direction. I feel like this
Why
is
though?
always
So
this.
hold on. So what's a better direction than this? Than going to the
I don't
conference
think
finals?
I don't think Tibbs should have been fired. He's a
I don't,
legendary
I don't, I
coach.
don't, I don't, I don't think they was really satisfied with that.
What you mean, bro? It's their first time. Oh
Apparently
my
they didn't
god,
think that
bro.
them
This
beating
shit
the
is
Celtics
crazy.
was legitimate.
That's what I'm
Apparently,
saying. They beat the
apparently
Boston Celtics.
they thought that more so the Celtics choked more so that them winning it. So they didn't feel
Bro,
like Tom Thibodeau was that great.
can I say the reason why I think he got fired?
Yep.
Last year, right? Indy beat the Knicks, and the Knicks were banged up. A bunch of injuries. So like going into this series, at least everybody that I talk to, because I live in New York, and I'm not even a Knicks fan, like to be honest with you, but everybody I talk, and I'm not even a Knicks fan, like to be honest with you, but everybody I talk to in New York, like I'm rooting for the Knicks, obviously, but they were like, "Oh, we should wash Indy because we're healthy now." Like blah 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 blah. We already beat the Celtics, the Jaylen Brown, the Tatum, Derek White. The Celtics are a superior squad to Indy. So I think them losing to Indy was like, wow, we got smoked by Indy when we just beat the Celtics, who are a way better squad, and we were expecting to beat them this year fully healthy. And they made an upgrade. Like, I mean, you could kind of toss it up to judgment and say Cat or Julius Randle, but I think they made an upgrade from Julius Randle to Cat. But I think that's why he got fired, is because they were expected to beat Indy after beating the Celtics, and then
It's on the players, I believe. Then, man.
no, I
You
agree.
just said the players are able to
But
beat Boston.
he did get out coached.
So Thibodeau gets no credit for beating Boston.
No, I think
The players get a credit for beating Boston, but
yeah,
then Tibbs gets blamed for losing to Indiana.
yeah. No, I get your stance about him being a scapegoat. I kind of agree. Like, even if they did remove him from the head coaching position, I still think he should be involved in some type of way in the Knicks organization. I think they fucked up with that. Oh, my bad. My bad, Kurt. My bad.
No, you good. I mean, I just think, man, I think Tibbs, bro, is a great coach, man. I think he get a hard audition, man.
Yeah, he also built that narrative up, like, oh, he runs players into the ground. But like, I think Kevin was saying it, like, you only run a 6 to 7 man rotation unless you're super duper deep, like the Thunder are, where they can literally toss in,
Or the
8, 9.
Pacers.
Yeah, or the Pacers. The Pacers did a really good job at developing depth too.
Yeah.
But honestly, bro, the NBA is changing around. Like, now a lot of the successful teams are coming up through developmental drafts and stuff. Like, if we pay attention to the last few winners, besides maybe even the Bucks too. The Bucks kind of developmental draft their team they won.
Yeah.
I don't think teams are going to be able to trade and pull this guy and this guy no more and give up assets. Like, the league is changing. Like, the Nuggets won with the developmental draft. The Pacers and the Thunder are in the finals basically because of Paul George and all these moves that are going around. They got mad first round picks. So like, I think the league is changing in that way, and the Knicks kind of messed up because they gave up a lot of assets for Mikal Bridges, where they could have realistically waited a year, bro. The Nets are ass, and they could have gotten Mikal Bridges for probably 2 first round picks, used the rest of those first round picks and players on Giannis. Now they're trying to trade for Giannis in the offseason. I don't even know who they're going to offer. They're going to have
They
to
got to offer Cat
roster.
or Brunson. They got to offer one of them.
Yeah,
Honestly,
but
I see why they fired him. He kind of wasn't moving the needle in his
But even
coaching
if he
style.
He wasn't moving the needle, bro. They got to they beat the Celtics.
Bro, Jason Tatum got hurt.
No, bro, they was already
They
down.
was
up,
deep
they were
when
up
he was
They
three
already
playing.
about to lose. Bro.
Either way, he's been coaching the same way for 15 years, and
What are you talking about? Hold on,
never
hold on,
goes
hold on.
anywhere.
Come on, hold on. You said Tatum got hurt, right? But I'm saying Wasn't they? They was already about to
I
win
mean, yeah,
that
they was
game.
already winning. But I'm just
Yeah, they
Yeah,
was
they're
saying,
up
already about to
3-1.
win. Boston lost because Porzingis was hurt. They didn't have a. But I was happy though because I'm a Lakers fan. I don't fuck with Boston.
I don't think Tibbs is the right guy. I appreciate him bringing up winning culture, but like, I ain't gonna lie, he doesn't move the needle. His play style is the
So then who's
same.
gonna move the needle?
I
Happy
think they should
Pride
get
Month,
Mike.
y'all.
This is why I hate kids.
Come on, man.
And so who's gonna move the needle then?
I think they should go get Mike Malone because I think if Mike Malone would have played, would have stayed as a coach, they probably. I think they would have beat OKC.
So
And
why?
then
So why Denver fire? Why they fire Mike Malone?
because he was beefing with the GM because the GM didn't like the way he was coached.
Bro, all of this stuff, man. The NBA is soft, bro.
Listen,
Nah, I agree.
I think that
agree
was
with
stupid
you.
because they literally just gave away a free ring. But it's
Yeah.
all good.
Nah, but
No.
honestly, I'll say it because even like to Kevin's point where he was talking about how the Knicks beat the Celtics, I look at it as the same way with Minnesota. Minnesota formed their squad to beat the Nuggets. The Knicks formed their squad to beat the Celtics, and there's a lot of mismatches now. Like they could not keep up with Indy's pace. Their fast break points were ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Indy,
choking game one kind of set
Yeah,
the
that's
tone.
see, but now you gotta understand that is the player's fault, bro. That's
no, I agree, but I'm saying that's how I look at it. Like,
Crunch, is it not Tom Thibodeau's fault that they choked game one?
Happy
no,
Pride
bro.
Month,
No,
oh my god.
shut up.
Nah, I don't think Tom Thibodeau is at all to blame for game one. Like when
Yeah,
you're
you can't because they was upset. They was up 17.
yeah, you're up
Yeah,
17,
and then
bro.
and
You
they were
gotta
cooking
be.
with Jalen Brunson on the bench.
I don't know. I've been hearing from former.
Right, that's coaching.
Yeah, it could
I've
have.
been hearing
coaching
from former
right there.
players
Bring Brunson
that
back in when he should have been.
Right.
The
So
only
when you see Brunson dribbling into the double teams, getting trapped all game, right?
yeah,
Losing it out of bounds, getting locked up by Nimhard, bro. That's Nimhard embarrassed
I've
Jalen
heard
Brunson
from
in the
former
last
players
game.
that the way Tom Thibodeau coaches is that he doesn't use
Nah,
his
bro.
assistant.
Hold on. Hold on. Nimhard embarrassed Brunson in the last game, bro. That's why I believe Brunson
Yeah.
scapegoated.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't think Brunson got Tom Thibodeau fired.
But
Definitely.
it's funny how nobody is bringing none of
He
that up.
definitely
This is
did.
what I mean.
He
When
don't
you
got that
fire
type
the
of power.
coach, but I'm saying we fired a coach.
I
Now
think he
it's
was
like
already
we
on the
aren't-
hot seat.
But I'm saying we fired a coach.
I
Now
think he
it's
was
like
already
we
on the
aren't-
hot seat, and they was just ready.
You're not hearing me though. Hold on. When you
I don't
fired a
think he
coach,
was on the hot
you're
seat.
not
Nah, he was on
correcting-
the hot seat, bro.
I'm saying,
Especially
hold
after last
on.
season.
When you fire the coach, now you're not correcting the player's mistakes and what he need to work on.
Yeah, nah, I agree with that.
I mean, true, but at the same time, the way is because he's never changed his style ever, and has never resulted in literally anything.
I mean, bro, he got to the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. Like
bro,
the
has
game
he ever been to the
one-
finals as a coach? As a head
That's the
coach?
play you just seen. That's the player's fault.
Assistant coach.
I mean,
I'm talking about as a head coach. Don't
Let's
just
just
he's been
see.
coaching. He's been a head coach as well, like 2010.
No,
That's only 21. That's almost like 20.
technically, he's the one that coached the Celtics. That's what Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett claim.
yeah,
They say
Okay.
that Rivers wasn't really the coach. It was
Okay, so if
Thibs.
we're gonna believe what the
But-
players say, then we got to believe what the other players said about Tom Thibodeau's coaching, how he doesn't use
Yeah, but
assistant coaches.
the players
He's
that
there for-
said that, but
They're
the
just
players
there
that-
for show.
You know what I'm saying, but the players that said that were they on a good team that was even good enough to go to the finals?
yeah, the
It-
Celtics won the title.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the players that Shaq is talking about, the ones that don't have kids.
They were on decent teams. They could have made some playoff runs, but they weren't.
So that's what I'm saying.
Listen,
So
I
this,
don't-
this,
I
this is
don't-
the first team that was even halfway decent, like good enough to go to the finals.
yeah. I don't hold.
No, but there's a
hold
couple
his
reasons
Bulls-
though.
I don't hold his Bulls like his Bulls run to his fault, bro. Like realistically, he had to go through LeBron. Like
I
LeBron.
mean, yeah, that's understandable.
Nah,
but
I
he did
hold
run
it to his
D-Rose
fault.
to the ground, though. I ain't
Nah,
He had to
bro,
go
like,
through
dude,
He
LeBron.
ran
had to
D-Rose
go
into
through
the mud, bro.
They had to
LeBron
go
was
through
beating
the. They
everybody.
had to
Yeah,
go
he
through the
did.
super team. Hold on. They had to go through the super team Miami.
I knew he was about to say that, boy. Super team is the greatest sport in existence.
No, but
I
I'm
mean,
saying that's the
even
season.
even
That was the
before
first
that,
season.
bro.
That
he
was
had
the
to
first
go
season they
through-
team. No, I'm saying that was the first season they teamed up in Miami.
Yeah, but even before that, he had, bro. Like I don't. It sounds like stupid for me to say, but like it's so hard to blame a coach when you're going against somebody like LeBron, who's reaching 9 straight Eastern Conference Finals. Like, I mean, yeah, you should be able to
saying those
figure out.
teams,
I mean,
all
do
of
you think
those
they could have won the
also
finals
there's,
anyway? Say they
injuries.
beat
all
LeBron
of
and
those
them, so they won the
teams, that,
finals
all of
anyway?
those teams LeBron was on was like they had the 3 best players on the court, or the 2 best players on the court.
Not the Cavs years.
Yes, it is because of the Cavs years you had Bron and Kyrie, bro.
Oh, Jesus
That was
Christ.
later, bro. That was later.
Right. So I'm saying, what years did Thibs had to play against LeBron?
You mean
Where,
there's?
huh?
I mean, wait, what?
Before he went to Miami.
So before he went to Miami, I thought he was on Boston. He was the assistant coach on Boston, right?
Yeah,
In
but
2000,
back to
that's the
what?
07 team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I'm about to take it out now.
Right, and they was beating
Yeah.
LeBron though.
No, that was the 07 team when he was the assistant coach. He then went to Chicago, and then in Chicago
Yeah,
he couldn't beat LeBron that had like Ilgauskas and Larry
yeah.
Hughes.
Well, I'm
Who
saying
else?
that was
Antoine
I'm
Jameson.
saying that was
You talking
Derrick
about
Rose.
2010?
Right, that was
Yeah,
Derrick
like
Rose. That was Derrick Rose second season. So they
Yeah,
wasn't
but
gonna.
he. Yeah,
They're
but
not
he
gonna.
won. He
Why?
won
Why people
MVP.
expecting?
No,
Huh?
was that the year he won MVP?
No,
Nah, he won
that was Derrick
MVP the
Rose
next
second.
year.
Hold on.
he
That
wanted to
was
be next year.
Yeah.
listen. That was Derrick Rose's second season, and then a year after that, they went to the conference finals.
No, facts.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not his fault that they made a super team just to
I
stop
mean,
D
come on,
Rose.
man. You've been a coach since
Shaq, hold on,
2011,
Shaq.
and you
See, I
haven't
can't
made
I can't even
one
land my plane,
finals.
bro. I can't even land my plane. So it's not Tom Thibodeau's fault that they made a super team to stop Derrick Rose.
They didn't make no super team for
They didn't
Derrick Rose,
do.
though.
They
They
didn't stop.
definitely
They
did
didn't
not do
make a super team to stop Derrick
that.
Rose. They made a super
That's
team.
No, for
basically
Derrick Rose, they definitely did
that's
not do that.
basically what they did though.
Crunch. So
Nah,
they knew
they
Derrick Rose
had
would
the
become the
East
MVP the
on.
next
The East
season.
was
Well, that's what they
boxed,
say
bro.
for LeBron. They say the Celtics somehow they just knew they knew Braun was gonna be the MVP.
Who says that?
They made that super team to beat the Celtics, not the Bulls.
Well, they didn't have to play that. Well, hold on.
In the
That's my point.
interview, they said that Bron and Wade made that super team to beat the Lakers. That came
Yeah,
out of their
yeah,
mouth.
to compete with
They
Kobe.
kept winning.
But I'm talking
That
about
makes sense.
this. I'm saying if the super team wasn't there, the Bulls go to the finals in 2011.
And lose immediately.
So you think the Bulls are gonna lose to the Mavericks? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Hell
That
yeah.
yeah.
year,
Hold on,
that
hold on.
year,
Time out,
yeah,
time
low
out, time
key.
out,
The
time
Dirk,
out.
Mavericks, bro. The
bro,
Hold on,
you
y'all. Hold
Mavericks.
on,
wildin'.
time out, time
Dirk
out.
got the greatest ring of all time.
Hold on,
Y'all
hold on,
bugging.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So again, the Bulls had the number one seed in the world in the whole
Okay,
league.
okay, cool.
You would have listen. You would have been able to put Joakim Noah on Dirk Nowitzki right around.
No, he would
Nah.
have fried him. He
Bro,
would
the
have
But
question
fried
is
him.
Joakim
why
Noah
is
was not.
Jalen
Hold on. So Joakim Noah wasn't one of the best rim protectors. One of
He,
the one
Dirk
of the
was
best
shooting
defenders.
threes at
One of the
mid
best
range. You would have
defenders.
ate him.
Hold on. So he wasn't one of the best defenders in the league.
So
Nah,
Do
he
what
you
I'm
was.
hearing is
forget?
Joakim Noah couldn't guard Chris Bosh.
Man.
For some reason can guard
Nah,
Dirk.
he
Okay.
was. But that 2011 Mavs squad was also ran by Rick Carlisle, bro, and he smoked the best team
Yeah,
in the
but that
league.
would have been a better. See, it's crazy how that's full circle because he just lost to Rick Carlisle.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
at that time,
Rick Carlisle is an amazing coach.
yo,
That
bro,
run that you
facts,
had
Yeah, I
with
facts,
Rick
kind of thought he was
facts,
Carlisle,
overrated,
facts.
but he proved me wrong.
No, facts. He like a
Nah,
top 10
Rick,
coach.
Rick
He
the
like a
man.
top 10 coach all time, bro.
dude. Rick Carlisle, that 2011 run was dude. He beat the champions, the Lakers. He
Right?
swept them, or gentlemen swept them.
Swept.
Gentlemen
It was a
swept.
Swept.
sweep.
And
Bro,
then
he,
he swept the OKC Thunder with
No,
KD,
they
Harden.
beat them in 6.
That's where they.
I thought he
I
beat
know
him
the
in
gentlemen
5.
swept. I know the gentlemen swept the Lakers for a fact. I think.
Nah,
So.
they beat the Lakers in 4 games.
No. Wasn't the Spurs? Didn't they sweep the Spurs?
Nah, they
No,
played.
gentlemen swept the Spurs.
he
They
played,
Nah,
played
they didn't play
OKC in the
Spurs.
Western Conference
he
Finals.
played
They
Portland.
beat the Blazers
Oh
in
shit!
6.
They beat
They
the
played
They
Portland,
Blazers,
or
swept
who
the
they
Lakers
played?
and beat the Thunder in 6.
Like, bro, this is what I'm saying.
and
So
then they smoked the Heat, bro. I
the
don't think
Bulls,
anybody
I think the
stopped them.
Bulls, I think Derrick Rose would be an NBA champion if he didn't get hurt.
No, bro.
Actually,
Nah.
You
he
just
didn't
love
get hurt.
Derek.
He
You
didn't
just
get hurt
love
that
Derrick
season.
Rose, and that's okay.
Hold on, Shaq. He didn't get hurt that season. I meant to say, like, if he didn't play the Miami Heatles, I think the Bulls win that championship, bro.
Bro, I think you
Wait,
just love
wait,
Derrick
wait.
Rose, and that's okay.
But
Well,
why did Derrick Rose get hurt?
No, he got hurt the
Nah,
year after that. He got hurt the
That
year
you
after.
can't. Nah, you can't do that,
He
bro.
got hurt because
And
he
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 got
was
was
in
hurt.
a
I'm talking about he got
game,
hurt. He got
but
hurt
it
the
was
year
up
after.
13. It was
He
up
got
13 with a minute left, and
he got
Thibodeau
hurt.
still had him playing.
He got hurt the year after though. It wasn't in
No, no, no.
2011.
He
What I'm
had
saying,
Derrick Rose in a game when they were up 14 with 1 minute left, and that's
yeah,
when
I
he got hurt.
understand that.
he
And
Yeah,
had a,
that's
bro,
he
why
had a
Tibbs.
I
That's
understand
why
that.
Tibbs got fired. Tibbs
he had
No,
a
got
I
fired
freak.
understand
because
that.
he don't
Hold on,
make
bro.
no changes, bro.
Kelvis, listen. You just
Yeah, go ahead.
shouting. That's 15, 13 goddamn years ago. We talking about why did he get fired today?
You're not listening. I'm telling you,
So again,
he don't
hold
make
on.
no
Nobody
adjustments,
tore their
bro.
ACL. Nobody tore their ACL on New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Surprisingly.
I'm gonna give you the explanation right now.
All
So
right,
you telling me that you came back from a 20-point deficit against Indiana with a lineup you never used it before, and then the next game you don't play any of those people?
what's wrong with that?
Are you
they
serious?
I mean,
There's
bro,
no.
is it also his
Because you
fault
gotta
that his
understand,
team?
bro. What are
Is
the
it?
players? You not see. This is my problem with Kelvis. You ain't.
Nah, bro.
I don't think you.
I'm
Hold
look.
on. I don't think you watched the series. You're not
I
telling me.
did watch the
You're
series.
not telling me any criticism from the players that you've seen.
No, I'm going to give you this. Okay, as a coach, it's your job to understand your players' weaknesses. For example, since game one, we've known that Jalen Brunson, because of the way Nembhard was playing him, he can't bring the ball up and he can't play defense. So you have to put a point guard in to control the ball while he plays off ball on offense because it's too much for him.
All right, so who's gonna bring the ball up?
You start Campaign or you start McBride. You have
So
to have a point guard in
Campaign is
there.
going to. So you telling me Campaign gonna do better at bringing the ball up than Jalen Brunson?
No, you tell Campaign, facilitate, play defense, and rebound. That's it. You're only there to save energy for Brunson because he can't do both things
Right,
because
but
he's
now
getting beat up.
I'm saying Campaign. See, that's my problem. Is that now Jalen Brunson is a bad off the ball player?
But as a coach, you have to say, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna let him get killed every time offensively
That's
and
his fault.
defensively?
That's Jalen Brunson's fault then, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
I agree with the host. Is it Tom Thibodeau's fault for game one?
Like he can't bring the ball up,
No.
bro. How the hell you
No,
can't
it's
bring
not
the
his
ball
fault.
up? See, this is my problem though,
he the
Kelvin.
coach, he the
Then
coach,
people
he
would
the
tell
coach,
me
he the
though.
coach.
See, but Kelvin,
He the
people
coach.
would tell me Brunson is better than Halliburton. They'll tell me he's better than all these dudes that don't have that problem.
Crunch. I think it's not. I think
No.
it's not just this season and not this series. I think it's a whole combination since like what 2018.
Yeah.
It's like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
What you
I
mean?
will tell you
Explain
this.
it.
Because there were some years they
Explain
didn't
that.
make the playoffs. There were some years they
Explain that.
lost in the first round embarrassingly. It was
Right.
just like it's just I don't
Right.
know. I think
Right. So
I
now
think
they
he's
in the
the- I
conference
think he-
finals, right?
I think he helped them. Okay, Crunch. Like I just said, it,
Hold on. What year they missed the playoffs?
his first year.
So,
I think it's third
alright.
year.
Who's on that team?
Julius Randle. Shit. God damn.
They had a trash squad, bro.
Well, that's my problem. Like you just
And RJ Barrett.
Yeah, they had a trash squad.
they got better though.
No, they did. Listen, one thing I'll say to Thibodeau is I haven't seen anybody transform a squad from year 2 or year 3 to the next year like he did.
Yeah, he had his time, but I think it's time for a different voice. I think they should try and get Mike Malone. Since a lot of good coaches did get fired, they should try to get Mike Malone.
I think they
Because
did
if Mike
just-
Malone would have stayed with the Nugget, and they
They're
didn't
saying they
fire
fired
Mike
this-
Malone, the
They're
Denver
saying they
Nuggets would
fired
be in
this
the
dude
championship
to
right
get
now.
Jay Wright, bro.
Huh?
They're saying they fired this dude to get Jay Wright.
Jay Wright, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay Wright said he want to coach.
Look it up.
No, what? No. Mike
Yeah.
Malone,
Jay Wright.
if they didn't fire him from Denver Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets will be getting a ring right now because they're definitely beating the Pacers.
No, but I'm saying they said their Thibodeau was on the hot seat ever since Jay Wright did that podcast on Barstool about what team he would want to coach, and he said the Knicks. And then they found out that this dude just bought a crib in Westchester, New York.
Who is Jay Wright?
I don't think that's happening. If they don't get Mike Malone, they're pretty fucking.
Who is Jay Wright though?
Jay Wright's the Villanova coach.
Huh?
See, I told y'all. See.
Yo, look it up. I'm not capping that.
Oh,
So
you mean the guy that was supposed to go to the Lakers last
This is the
year?
sad part.
Yeah.
I told. Listen,
No, that was the UConn coach.
Hold on,
Oh,
listen.
wait,
I told y'all when I started the video, the stream,
Bro,
that the Knicks. Hold on, Shaq. They have a Villanova brotherhood on that team, and they not holding each other accountable.
let's just see. Let's see what happens. If that happens, then you 100% got me. But
Nah,
I
No,
think
but I'm not even capping. Like, look that up on
Bro,
Google.
I gotta follow, bro, man.
Jay
I
Wright
didn't even
Knicks.
know that,
There's
bro.
OD.
well, New York is close. New York is close to Philly, so maybe.
Damn, I didn't know that though, bro. Hold on. So you saying
Did y'all see-
they're plotting on bringing a Villanova coach?
I hope not. That'd be the
basically-
dumbest shit I've ever.
Wow.
Wait, but did y'all see the clip with DiVincenzo
Yeah,
when he was
Yeah.
talking crap and he said that's what happens when the dad runs the team?
yeah.
Whoa.
About Brunson's cock.
Yeah, the dad was like, "I
Oh.
spared you. I spared you."
Woo! Hey, shout out to Brooklyn Godfather in the comments, man. I do agree with that. I think they should get Mark Jackson.
Bro, let's
Honestly,
Hell no.
honestly,
let's just
Hell
give it up, bro. They about to
Hell no.
What you mean?
Your man was the coach of the Golden State Warriors, and then he was going after games and cracking prostitutes. Hell no, bro.
Everybody do
I ain't
that.
gonna lie, everybody in the NBA does do that though.
Yeah, but Mark
I-
Jackson.
listen,
Remember,
I-
Mark
Honestly,
Jackson.
though, honestly, I ain't
Remember,
know
Mark
that, though.
Jackson. Mark Jackson said that he was a preacher first before a coach, and he was cracking prostitutes.
I ain't
Remember
gonna
that?
lie.
Look,
Kelvis, that is a
Kelvis,
move
Kelvis. I ain't know that, though,
everybody
bro. I didn't know he was
in the
doing that,
NBA
though.
does
I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody.
Look it up. Look it up.
Especially
I ain't making
Zion
this
Williamson.
up.
Nah, that's
Mark Jackson
crazy.
turned that Warriors team into a 50-win team, though. In like
I ain't gonna lie, Mark
3 years
Jackson.
span.
But
Mark Jackson
Steve
did say that
Kerr
he'll.
came and they immediately won 67 games and won the
Nah,
championship.
Shaq. You remember Mark Jackson did say he'll hit it right out of the park. Oh my god, I ain't gonna
Listen,
lie.
I ain't slandering him. I'm
should
facts.
coach like
It's
the
all facts.
Grizzlies. He shouldn't coach the Knicks, right? Though he shouldn't coach the Knicks, though.
No, Kelvin, you sound like Kelvin. You from New York?
I'm from the Bronx, bro.
So okay, so ain't
from
gonna lie.
Burnside, bro.
That's why I try to defer to real Knicks fans, so y'all
I've
probably
been,
know more what's going on than me.
And don't nobody give a fuck about no New York nigga.
No, but
bro.
I'm just saying.
I've been a Knicks fan since the Mud days. I'm talking about when we had
You
freaking
mean
Fat
4 years
Raymond
ago?
Felton. Well, no, it was worse in the mid 2000s. It was even worse. We had Ronnie Turioff and Ronaldo Balkman starting, guys. Come on.
No, the Knicks
Nigga,
had some
so
bad teams, bro.
You know what's crazy though?
you should have Jamal
Isaiah
Crawford.
Isaiah Thomas could draft, but he couldn't put a team together. Because if I
Yeah.
start naming players that he drafted, you'd be like, "What? They was on the Knicks?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yep.
At least
And he
him,
had
Michael Jordan
Jamal
got. At least him,
Crawford,
Michael
right?
Jordan
Well,
got
actually, he
something in
didn't get
common
drafted
now.
there. I'm tripping.
You
No,
know
we
what
had
I?
Jamal Crawford, Shannon Fry,
Yeah.
David Lee. Who else?
You're
Oh,
not moving
right.
me.
No, these are solid players though. Who
They
else
were
we had
solid
on that
players,
team?
though. They were solid
They
players.
were,
I
but
mean,
they
if you're the
weren't.
GM
They
and the
weren't.
head coach, you're
They
supposed to
weren't a
draft that.
team.
You're supposed to draft that guy. I mean, they did have Carmelo, but like,
What happened with no? The Carmelo trade ruined the franchise though because they didn't wait.
Hey, Calvis, what happened to Alonzo Trier, bro?
We drafted him. We thought he was going to be the next Stephon, and he was, it's poo poo.
He was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Listen, we drafted a bunch of point guards. Who was the other one? Number 7. I forgot his name. I thought he was going to be good. We thought Dennis Smith was going to be good, and we drafted him over. I think it was Giannis.
Yeah,
nah,
that was
Zion.
pretty easy.
I still remember
Man,
2018
man.
boy.
Y'all
Y'all boys thought y'all was getting Zion.
shoulda
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't want y'all to get
kept
Zion.
kept Alonzo
That
Trier,
low key fucked
Nah,
my franchise.
I'm
I
so
mean, bro,
happy
they
we didn't
got.
get Zion.
They
I
got.
ain't gonna lie,
Bro,
no.
they got.
Because if
They
y'all
got.
Alonzo
would
Trier
have
at this
got, if y'all
point in
would have got
time, he'll be a
Zion,
top 15. He'll be a top 20 player. He'll be a top 15 player.
I ain't gonna lie. If y'all would have got Zion, KD and Kyrie were definitely going to New York Knicks. 100%. 100%.
I'm about to look up what this man doing, bro.
Alonzo Trier, everybody thought he was supposed to be like the next Lance Stevenson or like OJ Mayo, but he ain't pan
Huh?
out.
He was hooping. I remember he was
He
hooping. I
was
don't know if
hooping.
I'm
No, he was
tripping.
hooping, but he didn't pan out.
Man, who knows, man?
But I'll tell you right
So,
now, I don't think. I'll tell you right now though, there's not going to be many Knicks fans that are kind of sad about Tibbs gone. I wanted Tibbs gone
I
two
don't think a
years
lot of
ago.
people care.
It
It wasn't even trending on Twitter.
If you look at,
didn't even
dude, I
trend
found
it.
out. I found out. I
It
found
wasn't
out
even
from one of.
trending. The boys don't care.
I found out from one of my boys in LA. He was like, "Yo, Thibs got fired." I was like, "No way!" And then I searched.
I'm
that
about to
shit
say,
up. I was
I
like,
got Underdog on my phone. They didn't even notify me of that.
I haven't heard
uh,
nobody talking about this. I ain't gonna lie. I seen a video where somebody was asking Shumpert in
yeah,
the parking garage.
Yeah, but I say nobody really cares that Tibbs got fired. No offense. He's not really. They can low-key get a better coach. They can get a better coach.
now the
nah,
thing is though, if you look at Tibbs' history, this is what he does. He has a good amount of success, and
yeah.
then he gets fired because the players get burnt out with that type of style. So that happened in Minnesota, happened in Chicago, happened in New York. The next place it goes is gonna happen too.
If he
You know
gets
what it
another
is?
job.
You know what it is though, Kelvis? I think the league is being run by players.
Oh, of
And
course.
I do agree with the host about him being kind of a scapegoat because like if you could build a really good squad, and they did, bro. The Knicks lineup was nice as fuck, but they just had no depth to compete with. Even if they made the finals, I think they would have gotten smoked by Thunder.
Yeah, OKC was
How,
going to
I
how
ain't
go
gonna
would
down.
lie
you?
though. If
How,
if the Knicks would have made the finals, I had them beating OKC.
Yeah, I don't have that,
Nah,
bro.
how
OKC
would
is
you
not bad.
know?
there's
How
no
would you
I don't
know
way,
think
if
the
they
Pacers
bro.
got
had
a
any
chance.
depth if they didn't play the bench? That's the
There's
whole
no
point.
way. This dude Lou Dort was
How,
keeping
bro?
Anthony Edwards
Everybody
under
on the
20.
Knicks would have ended up like Derrick Rose, bro. He did the
Mm.
same thing to Derrick
Facts.
Rose, bro.
Hmm.
You can't play that lineup. You can't
Well, you
play.
New York niggas have not recovered from that, boy.
You can't
Bro,
play
he's right.
six, seven niggas a game, bro.
Facts.
You
Yo,
can't.
But
They're
I
there
don't.
for a reason.
I
I
don't
think
blame.
they
I don't
should have.
blame him like Derrick Rose tearing his ACL on Thibs, bro.
Bro, he played that Derek. What was Joe King Noah? Everybody he played, he destroyed them, bro.
Nah, I
Bro,
agree.
Apparently, he
I
doesn't let
agree.
anybody. He
But
doesn't
like,
let any of his assistant
You
coaches
ruined
run
everybody's
any
career.
plays.
but bro, like
bro.
if you guys think about it, like right now I'm 29. When I was 21, 22, 20, bro, you could play. You could do anything at an extreme level for so long. Like you don't ever account for an injury in a young upcoming star because he's being quote unquote overplayed. You know what I mean?
Hold
Like
on. Hold on. You don't think it's odd that Derrick Rose tore his ACL and then Joakim Noah got severe plantar fasciitis to the point that he can't even play
no,
playing for
dude,
Tibbs?
I think that just comes with the game. Like you know what I mean?
Nah, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Bro,
No, but
they
bro,
No,
can
no.
play. They
Bro,
can
it,
I
play.
got
listen to
plantar
me.
I have plantar fasciitis, right?
Yeah.
And they don't stop me from walking around. Joakim Noah could barely walk right now.
No,
And he's like in his
I'm
mid
not even trying to
30s.
be a dick. That dude's like what 6'10", 6'11" though. Like that shit.
I guess.
Shut up.
That
But
shit
he's
affects
but
you.
he's playing them 40 minutes a game,
Bro,
42,
listen.
43.
They did the
Yeah,
math.
I
The
agree,
Knicks,
Brooklyn.
they did the Knicks starting five compared to Indiana starting five. the Knicks ended up with 15 more games than the Indiana Pacers starting
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
Bro, that's crazy. You
Nah,
can't go
I
into the
feel you.
playoff like that.
You know what it is?
That's
Well, he
I think
doesn't.
I think
nah, but I
I
ain't
don't
gonna
know.
lie to
guys.
Mr. Meese. If they do hire the Villanova coach, I'm starting to think. I kind of think that shit will be kind of tough.
I think
Did
it's a
you
plot
look
twist
it
to
up,
this
bro?
whole thing, bro. I think the plot
No,
No,
twist
they
I
is
should
ain't
get
looked
this.
up yet.
they
I
should
ain't
get
looked
an
up yet.
established
I like the
coach.
whole family vibe that they have going over there with Jalen Brunson, Favre, and then the Villanova. But at the
Man,
same time,
hell no. First of all them assistant coaches are getting fired
Yeah,
immediately.
that's the weird thing about this
They're
whole
all
thing
getting
is
fired
that
immediately
his
because they don't
father's
do
gonna be
anything.
leaving.
his
Yeah,
father leaving?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, bro. That's his.
Yeah,
It's
That's
over.
his
It's
coach.
over.
crunch,
Yeah,
It's
bro.
over,
crunch.
dog. It's over.
Literally, if you ask any of the former players, his assistants don't do anything. They don't call no plays.
They
Just
don't.
be there.
Yeah,
They just be there.
yeah.
You think they about to
Hey,
stay?
look. I'm about to apply.
You should, bro. You should
Nah,
try to
nah,
just chill
nah.
on the sideline.
His father is very vocal. He does do a lot of stuff. But the thing is, I'm gonna tell you a few slaps in the face, bro. First of all, Thibs fucked that game up when he didn't call that timeout and get him in the game. That was on him. I don't know if you remember that game when Brunson was on the sideline for 3 minutes and
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
came back.
But
He
he was
never
in foul
called
trouble,
timeout to
right?
get him in the game.
He was
He
in foul
sat,
trouble.
huh?
Was that the game he had 5 fouls?
No. Oh yeah, we needed him in the last
No,
3 minutes. We
I
already had
agree
the
with
lead,
that.
but we
I
lost
agree
the
with
lead.
that. Yeah,
And
I
then
said. My
on
bad. Go
top
ahead.
of that, he never played the bench, right? When he started hearing the rumbling, this nigga decides to play the bench the last 3 games of the fucking series. And
Yeah,
then all of the games that they played, they was in plus.
yeah.
The bench was going crazy. He never played the bench the whole year, and then he waits to the last 3 games. Bro, he need to get the fuck out of there. The plot twist for me, because you got to understand, we was talking about firing him 3 years ago, and he got a fucking extension.
Yeah, he did.
They've been
Yeah,
talking about firing him. That was the crazy. And
yeah. I
then
heard he's about to get fired this
on
The
season.
top of
reason,
it, bro, the plot twist to me, right? I could be wrong. Giannis is a free agent. All you do is ask Giannis, who do you want to
next year,
coach? Who do you
I ain't
want
gonna lie,
to
he's not going
coach?
to New York.
next year,
I'm just
next
saying.
year.
I believe it, bro. You ask him, who do you want to coach? That's
Do you have the draft capital to trade?
He's gonna be a free agent next year, Brooklyn.
yeah, but I'm saying I think they're gonna have to move him. That team is in a rebuild, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's going to the Spurs because the Spurs have the
I
second
see
and
that
fourth,
too.
Yo,
I can see
14th
that
pick.
also.
That'd be crazy.
I have a theory, bro. I think the Thunder are gonna win this chip, and I think they're
You're thinking pick what?
I think they're gonna push heavy for Giannis. They have mad picks, bro.
They probably gonna
That'd
they
be
not.
crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, they probably gonna because they gotta pay Jalen Williams, then they gotta pay Chet soon. They not gonna want to do all that for Giannis.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if they got rid of Chet for Giannis, bro.
They not going. If they win the chip, they
That's
gonna keep what they got
crazy.
going on, bro. They
Why?
win the chip, they gonna keep what they got going on
Why?
because
I
they can
think-
still
I-
save their picks. They can still
Yeah,
save
but
their
I'm
picks.
saying they have 26, bro, in the next 4 years.
Bro, why are you saying why? If they win the chip, why would they get rid of anybody?
I'm saying,
Yeah,
would you,
because
If you
them
want
guys
Chet,
young,
why would they
I
get rid of
think that's
anybody?
you
together.
want Giannis or Chet on your squad?
Bro, if they just won with Chet, then we go keep the cheaper player.
Yeah, give me Chet.
Facts, yeah.
But like they could create a dynasty right now.
But they're about to win the chip. What if that
Yeah,
is the
but you
dynasty?
don't know
Bro,
if
Give me Chet because
I
the
don't know,
age.
bro. Like,
Because the
Do you
age.
know how
Yeah, the
scary,
age, Chet Young.
yeah, do you know how scary the Spurs would be with Giannis?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Because the Spurs got the
crazy.
That
most
shit wouldn't
capital.
even be fair.
The Spurs got the most
How
capital.
you
They got
them
the
on
second
2K
pick.
every time, bro?
They got the.
I saw that.
Imagine if they get Giannis and they keep Stephon Castle too.
Yeah,
That's
that would be
so
crazy.
Fox.
Stephon Pass would be.
I would trade
Which is
Fox
Fox.
if I could, though.
I saw something that the Mavericks might trade the first round. The first
No, bro.
overall
No, I ain't
pick
gonna lie. I ain't
for
gonna lie,
him.
bro. I ain't gonna lie. What's his
Yeah, I
name?
seen they might do that, but I don't know. Like, what y'all think they should do?
I'm about to say unless
I
Buddy
think
wants
they
to end
should
up like
keep him.
unless Buddy wants to end up like JFK, they gonna keep the LeBron pick.
That would be wild. If Nico traded Luka and then traded Kuba Flag.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
But in his eyes, like he's like, yo, I gotta win now.
Yeah.
So if he
So
trades,
you gonna trade? So you gonna have two power forwards on your team?
They trade for Giannis.
yo, you got Giannis and Davis, Kyrie.
Anthony Davis
That would
does
be
not want to
crazy,
play.
though, too. But
Anthony Davis is basically the number one option on that team. He does not want to play power forward.
Giannis would
not
probably
play
be like
center,
the third. Giannis would probably had to play like small forward.
Yeah, Giannis is gonna play. He gonna be like, nigga, I'm the
Giannis
guy.
is
He gonna be like, I'm the
naturally
guy.
three
Ain't gonna
anyway.
lie.
In the league,
Facts.
actually.
That defense.
That's
would be
Kev.
crazy.
Hey, yo, when Jason Kidd coached Giannis, he kind of was a small forward back then.
Yeah,
But Giannis had no leverage back then. He was just still trying to stay in the league.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that would be a tall lineup. You got Kyrie, Clay, Giannis,
Yo,
AD,
Gafford.
and
I think
Gafford.
when
I'm
Giannis
not gonna lie,
like
I
first
don't
started
see a
getting
chip out of
good,
that.
not MVP level, but when he first got good, he still was a 3.
Yeah,
but-
true.
But think
Like,
about it. He's already
in the late
established he's a
2010s.
top 75 player. If he goes to another team, he gonna be like, this is my squad. I'm playing power
Well,
forward. This
technically,
is
AD
me.
is top 75. Hold on. Giannis did make it top 75.
Yeah, and he just made first team All NBA
Okay,
and
well they
averaged
both.
30.
I'm
He
saying
gonna
Giannis.
say
Well,
this is my squad.
if Giannis going to another team, bro, he can't do all that, bro. You don't have no
He
leverage.
probably is gonna do all that, Brian.
I think honestly, in my opinion, bro,
He's not gonna need to.
in my opinion, like I am a Jan, like he's my favorite player in the league. I think overall he's the best player in the league, both ways.
The best two,
The best player in the league, both ways.
the best two-way in the league. That's what you saying?
Like, dude, he could get you 31 and 15 and also lock up your best guy.
But that's just MB can do that too.
Nah,
Please stop
Embiid
saying
can
that.
do it too. MB can do it.
nah, Embiid can't even stay on the court,
MB
bro.
can do it, bro. I don't know. Y'all acting like
Embiid is already looking.
Embiid can do it, but he pick and choose. That's
I ain't gonna lie, I'm
Yeah.
still mad about
But
that
he can
fraudulent
do it.
MVP. That
Embiid
he
Brooklyn,
agendas, man, in
with
2025.
I
That's still
agree
good.
with that, Brooklyn, but I always say, bro, the best ability is availability.
I ain't gonna lie. We need to stop with this Embiid talk.
Well,
He
if-
needs
if-
the
agendas in
MVP taken
2025
away.
is
Yeah,
nasty.
hold on. If you believe in that, you believe that Thibs should be gone then, because
Yeah,
there's no
100%.
availability.
I listen.
Bench.
I get both sides of the spectrum. Like I don't care that he's gone, but like he did build a good squad and got them to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time in 25
Hold
years.
on. Do you think he built a good squad? They gave away 5 picks for Bridges.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
more.
pretty
That was
stupid.
more so. That was more so
Bro.
Leon Rose.
Them
And
boys
they
coulda got
also
Luka,
gave
that.
They gave
Boy.
a first round pick to Minnesota.
Yeah,
Bro,
for Cat.
we fuck for the next. So whoever the coach is, it don't matter. That's why they have to make a trade for somebody.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we're not getting no talent through the draft.
Do you,
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all
so
destroyed yourselves.
Brooklyn, real quick. I want to.
By Kel Bridges, four first round picks. Luka went for 1.
Nah, Mikal Bridges went for 6, bro.
Yeah, he went to 6, but I'm talking about 4.
Yeah, he
5
went for
first
5
rounds.
and then a conditional, I think, right?
Yeah.
Luka went for 1 and Anthony Davis.
Yeah. But that, bro, that's just the Lakers, bro. The Lakers always get the best players.
Nah, I ain't gonna-
Now,
No,
Subway.
I ain't gonna lie. They was fucking.
I don't
with
think
us. I ain't
Giannis is
gonna lie.
even gonna
Nico
go for. I
Harrison-
don't think Giannis is even gonna go for that much because I mean that is a lot.
Nah,
But, like,
bro,
if
I think
if I'm
he's
the
gonna go
Spurs,
for OD,
I'm giving
bro.
you the second and the 14th, Kelvin Johnson, and if you want another first rounder, you can have it.
Dak,
That's all.
let me ask you something. What
That's
did
all you
Rudy,
getting out of
what
me.
did Rudy Gobert go for, bro?
Oh, that was bullshit. They robbed them.
Dick,
I
what
don't
did
know.
Mikal Bridges go for? 6. You think Giannis is gonna go for less than 6?
Bro, we're giving you the second overall pick. We're giving you the second overall.
No,
pick
you don't
and
know.
the
You don't know,
14th.
bro. You never know. You never know. You
Bro.
never know that second overall pick. He could be a bust. He could be the best player in the
Well,
world.
we don't know who knows.
I
Yeah.
think depending on the assets that come with the picks, the Bucks have settled for 3 first round picks.
I'm about to say you get the second and the 14th. You already restarting your franchise.
They're also gonna. I think they're also gonna move Dame.
They can't move Dan because he's hurt right now.
No,
But
they
when he
can't
gets back,
move
they're probably gonna get rid of him immediately.
They'll figure out a way to. They'll move him somewhere eventually. He'll be back.
But you could trade hurt players for other hurt players, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna do that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
they gonna wait. They
I
gonna wait
think-
because they know
I think
they
Dame's
ain't gonna
career
be
is done.
36 off of ACL or Achilles. They gonna be like, "Nah, we already know y'all gotta get rid of him. So
Yeah.
we want the cheapest."
Yeah. I think Dame's career is done. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he has one more All-Star appearance in him, and that's probably it.
I think Dallas will be.
Not that, bro.
I think Dallas will be back next year, according to who they.
Yeah, same. I think.
They shouldn't trade Cooper Flag, bro, because I'm not gonna lie. Anthony Davis and Kyrie, no offense to them, they get hurt too much. Might as well just
Yeah,
become
they're
a
all-
flag.
Yeah, but Kyrie gonna come back towards it.
Yeah, but what pick do they have? Don't they have 4?
Number 1, bro.
What do they have?
Number 1.
One. That's
Number
right.
one.
Right.
Cooper Flag locked.
Yeah, I'll draft Cooper Flag, bro. It's a no.
So they got
I would draft Cooper
I
Flag.
don't know how
and
niggas
just
could be
build around him.
Utah or Wizards fans after seeing that, boy. I couldn't be it
I
anymore.
know, bro.
Man,
That shit is so.
The Wizards have
lottery
been
is
to the
so
conference finals since the 70s.
Bro, I'm not too. I don't know. I'm not too sold on Cooper Flag. I don't know about NBA talent level. I don't. He
He's
has
pretty
it,
good. I ain't gonna lie. He's
but I
pretty
don't
good. He was
think
killing
he's
in the
gonna be
tournament.
what he
Brooklyn.
was.
The only reason I think he's gonna be nasty is because I've been watching videos of dudes saying when he was like 14, 15 playing against NBA players in scrimmages, and they were like, "Yo, this kid's already a problem."
Well, I seen him. I
think like. Oh, go ahead.
I live here in North Carolina. I've seen him play plenty of times. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I don't think. This is what I'm saying. He reminds me. I won't say too much. I'm talking about his personality and everything of Christian Laettner. I won't say he's Christian Laettner talent. That's what he's a lot more talented than Christian Laettner.
But you're
But
saying like his presence.
yeah, it's present. I
Yeah.
just don't. I don't know. I gotta
I
see
think
him against
I
some
think
good,
what
good
really
bodies.
attracts teams to him is the fact that he's what 6'10", 6'11". He's limited offensively right now, but defensively he's really good, and he plays hard defense, and he's big, bro. He's tall.
I say his coach is Jason Kidd too, so Jason Kidd gonna
Yeah,
find the best.
exactly.
But he's good defensively against people that's his weight or less. In the NBA, they're way bigger than him. So I don't know how good defensively he's going to be able to get around.
Well, he's gonna be like the third option on the team this year, so he got time. Well, second
Yeah,
option for a little while.
he's gonna develop, bro. And like I agree with what you're saying, Brooklyn. But like you can only gauge a player on the competition they play. You know what I mean?
Right?
And he was killing it in the tournament. They low-key should have won it all, but
Yeah.
But and he played that
He
kind of
might he might be the second option because Kyrie tore his Achilles.
I'm gonna say he's the second option right now.
Yeah,
because,
Kyrie
you know,
hurt.
I
I was about to say, I think Cooper when he on the team, I think is good because I kind of agree with Brooklyn. I wasn't sold on him like that, but for him to go to a team like Dallas is gonna be better because he's not gonna have that much.
Could I say I
He ain't gonna have that much.
think he'll Diaz be the first option. I think AD is
please
gonna
get
be
this nigga immediately.
Yo, I haven't watched
No,
much
look,
college.
I think it's gonna be better because he's not gonna have a lot of like responsibility,
and pressure.
so he gonna be
Yeah.
like
yeah,
as a
Only
plug-in player.
pressure
Yeah,
is making the playoffs, and they can do that.
yeah. 9 teams make playoffs. 10 teams. So.
So yeah, so
Who
all they
you
gotta do is
watching a lot of
really
college
just try to
last
get
year?
a top 6 seed, which
Yeah.
is harder than easier said than done. But they get
Yeah,
a
I
top
think
6
the West is going to be. I think the whole league next year is going to be a lot more competitive. Like the reason why I could see why Thibs got fired, bro, is because
I ain't gonna lie in the East because 2 teams are pretty much almost out the playoffs: the Celtics and the Bucks. Because the Celtics ain't making no runs, and the Bucks
nah,
are
the
pretty much
Celtics
cooked.
will make playoffs.
But they're probably gonna be a bottom seed.
Hey, what y'all think is up with Porzingis? They talking about bro got AIDS or some shit.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I see that. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
like what the fuck is that?
I think he got
What?
long term COVID, bro. To be honest.
The league need to stop sharing these women.
Yeah, nah, that's true too.
That's
Nah, but
crazy.
like, yo, one of my boys, he was playing college baseball. He got long term COVID, and he was like, "Dude, I can't." He was like, "I can't play no more. Like, you're just completely gassed, bro. You're washed." Like,
Yeah, but I say I tried to play after COVID. Right after COVID, bro, I couldn't even breathe.
yeah, like my boy has long term. He was like, "Bro, sometimes my heart rate will just, go to fucking 140 beats per minute, just chilling on the bench. Like, you're fucked up, bro." I think that's what he got.
Damn, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I don't know. The league got the
bro,
best
they-
doctors in the world. He better go to some
Fucked up,
fucking
really
doctor.
bad.
Hey, quick question, guys, before I get out of here. Did anybody watch college last year?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
So I see that 2 and 3 supposed to be 2 guys from Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody see them play?
They're all right. I don't know, bro. They're all right, but the team was bad. I don't
I
understand.
think Ace Bailey
The
going to Rookie of the Year in Milwaukee.
Rutgers University. I've never known Rutgers to be a contender or any
Yeah.
talent coming out of there other than Ray Rice playing football.
Yeah, facts. I was just thinking that Ray Rice,
And Isaiah
my
Pacheco.
Ravens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah, that's what I said too. Like, how do you have the 2 of the top 3 people and like you're a bad team? I don't know.
And they got smoked in the tournament.
They got
It wasn't even a
Yeah, that might be a red flag, bro.
They got smoked bad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, college is so different, right? Because if you have 2 players that are like beasts, supposedly, like you should go far.
You should, but sometimes you don't.
At least in college, like college.
College, right? Like you got 2 lottery picks on the team.
I'm about to say like
there's
Duke,
so many
Duke next year. Duke has both the Boozer twins and the squad they had last year. They should make
Yeah.
it all the way.
Yeah, they're the number one.
Yeah, I don't know if I would draft somebody off of Rutgers, yo. That's a good point.
Wow, these NBA players' sons, they cooking. Like,
But I also believe
And the
one of them
Boozers?
was a transfer.
Yeah, Bronny, right?
from,
Yeah.
one was a transfer
So
from
let
I
me
don't know
Canada.
about that
let me
one.
chill.
I don't really know about that one.
Yo, I wanted to ask you guys. I had this conversation with one of my boys who lives in Detroit. Do you think if the Pistons somehow landed Giannis, do you think they would be a top 5 team in the league?
Yeah, the Milwaukee is going to buck immediately.
It's according to who they give up.
Yeah.
Nigga,
Give up.
Yeah.
Milwaukee gonna say we want Cade.
Yeah. Straight up.
They're gonna have to give up that whole team.
Yeah, and they might.
They got a bunch of picks though, right? I think Pistons.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They're not gonna trade in their conference. They're
I
not
was gonna
trade.
say that. They would never do that in the
Bro,
don't
cup.
think about it.
they're
If you're
gonna trade
the
him?
Milwaukee Bucks, you haven't won a championship since 1972, and Giannis brought you one. You think you want to keep that nigga in your conference? No, I'm setting him away.
Like, you think they're gonna trade him to the West?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think, bro. If I'm Giannis, I wouldn't want to go to the West, bro.
Why not? He said he want to go
You
to a
got to
tax-free
deal with
state,
you got to
and
deal
it's
with
only Texas.
Minnesota. You got to deal with Denver. You got to deal with OKC. You got to deal with Dallas and Denver and the Lakers just to get to the fucking.
Okay, and then what if I get paired up with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle? They got to deal with me.
I know, but still, bro, you got to deal. Like the West is so stacked, bro.
But if he goes to the Spurs, what don't you think they'll be a top 3 seed immediately?
No,
Huh?
no.
So with Wemby, pretty decent squad, you don't think they'll be a top?
Nah, I think the West is ridiculous, bro. Like, look at who was a top 3 seed this year. Who was a top 3 seed this year? It was
Nigga, Houston.
It was the Houston Rockets, exactly.
Yeah. If Giannis goes to the Spurs, they're immediately better than Houston. They're immediately better.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't want to go there, bro. I'd rather chill in the East. You know, join a team that's like got a few good players, and then cruise my way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, who do you got to play in the East right now?
Yeah, Tatum gonna be injured next year, so
Tatum's going to be injured. The Celtics are already talking about they might ship Jaylen Brown. The Heat are doo-doo. The Knicks, we don't know what's good with the Knicks. The Bucks are going to be cheeks.
The Cavs still not
Cavs
ready.
are fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cavs are fraud. Bro, if I was him, I would just chill in the East, bro. You know, you go to a team, even if they're not like the craziest squad yet, like you can make an Eastern Conference final, no problem.
Yeah.
Like if I was him, I would think about maybe like the Heat. I don't know. If I was him, I would try and talk to somebody in Orlando, bro. Bonchero, and
I'm about to wrap this up though, man. It was a good chat. I'm gonna follow y'all, man.
yeah, no problem, bro. Thank you for having me up.
All right.